You know, as a middle-aged woman, I get on social media sometimes to kind of give like my viewpoints and things I wish I had known 10, 15 years ago as a woman. But sometimes I have questions of my own. One of them is, what is the point of a girls trip? I honestly do not understand it. Now, I know I'm a loner. I'm an introvert. I get that. I don't even have any friends. But if I did, I still don't think I want to go on a trip with them. I like to be taken care of. I like stuff to be paid for me. I got heels on, hold my hand, make sure I don't fall, open the door for me, pay for it for me, find me a chair while you go find us a table, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, y'all want to be passenger princesses, but you want to go out with all queens. How can I be a queen and be taken care of like a queen if I'm out with only other women? I need my man on my vacation. I thought part of the reason or the benefit of a vacation is to engage in certain adult activities in a new locale, if you get what I'm saying. I can't do that on no girls trip. So somebody please help me understand, because girls trips were not a thing back in the day. I'm 46. My mama ain't never went on no girls trip. It just wasn't a thing. So maybe I'm missing something. So younger women, can y'all chime in for me, please? I'm confused.
Listen, you ain't got to be confused, baby. You got prettier and sexier and more attractive the more that you spoke and the more that you talked. I don't know. It's just me. I got a thing for older women. I also got a thing for chocolate women. That's my thing. I mean, I like my caramel sisters and I like the light skinned sisters and all of that. I also like Japanese and white women and all of that. And I think that all of them are attractive because God made you all beautiful in your own unique way. But for me, I have a thing for older chocolate women. And the more that they talk like this, is the more that they become attractive. Neither here nor there. Let's get back to the point of the video. She was speaking about girls' trips, right? And she was saying, you know, I don't really understand why these chicks is going on these places because I like to basically be interdependent on a man in order for me to really be able to have fun. And I'm not into hanging with other women. I'm into being with whoever it is that she's with, the man that she's with at the time. That is the thing that men love. They love the way that she talked. They like her mentality. Now, I can't say that she's not a chameleon and I don't know anything about her, so I'm not going to speak towards that in a general sense, but we just going to take it at face value to try to speak exactly to what she was commenting on in this video, right? And okay, let's back up for a minute. The point of girls trips is for two reasons in my opinion, right? The first reason, and every guy really knows this, is because it gives them permission to give each other permission to slut it out in spaces that they all can encourage each other and hold each other's secrets and feel empowered as women based off of this whole feminist movement of you can do whatever it is that you want when you want to because you're a woman and hear me roar, right? It gives each other empowerment to do shit that they wouldn't normally do or that they shouldn't normally do. And then the interesting part about it is that most girls' trips are experienced with other women that is full of shit. So you usually don't get anybody in the crew that'll hold you down and say, you know what, we shouldn't be doing this or we shouldn't be doing that. You know why? Because most of the time, those type of women are at home with their man. So usually girls' trips, usually, this is not all the time, usually, girls' trips among a certain demographic of women is an opportunity for them to be sluts. The other thing is, a lot of times, girls' trips is amongst a bunch of chicks that couldn't really hold down men that was worth anything, or they may be with a bunch of simps that then allow for them to go out there and do stuff that they wouldn't normally do if they was with their man. All right, that's number one. And it's a relatively newer era thing. We started to see this shit populate during the waiting to exhale thing. And contrary to popular belief, like it hasn't been a long time since those type of movies started promoting feminism and for women to go out and do stuff and not be interdependent on their man. Interestingly enough, we also seen in the comments of this video, and I'm going to link to the person that created this because I always like to give credit to the creator. And so shout out to everybody that do their thing because you guys sent me this video to react to, but I always, again, like to give credit to the creator. So the link to their Instagram profile or whatever it is that we get this from is in the description of the video. However, it's funny because when I looked in the comments, you seen women getting mad at her for saying that, yo, I want to be with my man. I want to rock out with my man. This is really for me and my man to do things in locations that we haven't normally been to or visited. She also talked about the fact that she likes to be interdependent on a man in order for them to do certain things because she understands the roles and also the responsibilities of a woman versus a man. It's a separation. That's just the way that God made us. And so I seen these hyenas inside of the comments of her video getting flustered and mad, saying that it's unfortunate that she has to be interdependent on a man in order for her to feel whole. It don't mean that she's feeling any less whole. It just means that she understands that she don't want to be a whole unless she's with the man that she's supposed to be with. And so a lot of these women are so angry and so upset when a woman that even resembles some level of femininity and traditional values, as far as she's leaning on or relying on the principles that her mother, that was obviously different than the hyenas that we see today, is teaching her, and her mother was never a part of girls' trips. Conversely, let me just add this little caveat because I know that this is going to upset the people, but I got to be absolutely honest on how I rock and how I stand, and you guys know how I get down. I am not the type of dude that like to take a guy's trip. I know it's a completely different thing, but in a lot of ways it can be similar because guys' trips, especially to certain locations, is dudes that is empowering other dudes to do shit that they wouldn't normally do amongst each other also. But that's not why I'm not interested in taking guys' trips. I have a similar mentality, but obviously in the reverse of what this woman is. If I'm taking a trip, either I'm solo dolo because, you know what I'm saying, I'm truly trying to become or trying to, experience things in a certain way that I want to by myself, and I'm more than happy to travel by myself. I still travel by myself today, or I'm on business. Business is a large part of it. And the other part of it is I prefer to be around dope women. I want to be around something soft. I want to lay up with something. I want something to be in front of me as my inspiration when I'm having conversations, when I'm doing what I'm doing. I like to see her in the shower and then go and get in the shower with her. I prefer to be around a woman 100% of the time, and I'm not criticizing. I'm not telling y'all what to do. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's cool. If y'all want to have some level of hoorah with each other and all of that other type of stuff, so you can be around. I'm not the type of dude that like to hang around a bunch of dudes. Now, will I network with dudes? Absolutely. Can we go and get some money together? Phenomenal. But I'm not just gonna take no random trip like hanging out and we going to the bar. I'm not doing that, bro. If it ain't no women that's around for an extended period of time, I'm like, what we doing here? Like, if we not getting no money and it ain't nothing feminine around us for us to feel on and it's just a bunch of hard legs together, I've never been that type of dude to rock out like that. So I'm just a different guy in that way. And I'm sure that y'all all think differently and feel differently, and I understand it and I get it. But for me, yo, if I'm not having something soft that's around me, then what the fuck we doing? I can go by myself. I don't need no partners. Like, I'm not about to be out here spending no money hanging around no hard legs. And I love y'all and I rock with y'all and y'all my homies or y'all my brothers or whatever, but I don't take guys' trips. Now, let me add one more caveat into this conversation. I am cool with women taking trips with other women, depending on what it is that they're doing and who they're around, right? I don't have any problem with, my wife going and visit my mother or going to visit her sisters down there, or my brother and her sisters or whatever, right? I don't really even consider those girls trips, but I don't really care. Like, I don't care if y'all take a day trip shopping somewhere or something like that. That don't fucking mean anything to me. But I've never known my own personal wife or my mother or my brother's wives or anything like that to take girls' trips. They'd even have to force themselves to do that because they just want their man around or something like that, right? And it's just interesting to see that the mindset of these women is criticizing this type of woman as saying that she don't want to be around a bunch of chicks that ain't even got no men around them because she actually prefer to be around a man or being interdependent on a man in order for her to have the best time in an exotic location outside of getting fucked on by a stranger that she wouldn't normally be around and opening herself up and them slutting it out. But, I'm just curious as to what you guys think. I like this girl. I like her mentality. I think it echoes the sentiment of what it is that I stand for, what I'm about. Shout out to her for really, really getting to it and getting to the bag. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm curious as to what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you let me know. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.